Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub. We are stepping away from our regular coverage because the flow of information emerging right now has escalated to a level rarely seen before. What is surfacing is being described as exceptionally significant, with some calling it a pivotal moment in Iraq's long-running economic transformation. The material being tracked appears to originate from individuals offering first-hand insight from inside Iraq itself. These real-time observations are being compared, examined, and interpreted by well-known analysts who have monitored these developments for years, giving the current situation an added sense of urgency and suggesting that major movement may be approaching quickly. The interpretation of these new updates is being tied closely to the ongoing analysis of Frank 26, a figure many followers in this space have relied on for a long time. His focus has consistently been on studying the subtle shifts in Iraq's financial landscape, monitoring diplomatic activity, and detecting faint indicators that might point toward progress in the country's monetary reforms, according to commentary attributed to his latest breakdown. The intelligence now circulating has elevated the conversation dramatically, leading some to use words like powerful and even monstrous. These are terms reportedly being chosen to represent the magnitude of the developments believed to be unfolding, marking a shift from mere speculation to what is portrayed as the final operational stage. The primary origin of this fast-moving update is said to be an individual known as Omar, a direct observer stationed inside Iraq. His described responsibility is to witness and report events as they happen in real time. The information he is said to be providing does not come from rumors or secondhand chatter. Instead, it is reportedly based on his personal viewing of official Iraqi national television announcements and clear statements delivered by government leaders. This distinction is important because it frames the information as documented and formally communicated by Iraqi authorities to their own citizens. This direct public source of reporting is being pointed out for its clarity and the potential magnitude of what it implies, according to what is being attributed to Omar's updates. Highly specific and electrifying activity is occurring in Baghdad that has captured the attention of those following the story closely. He reportedly states that Iraq has either submitted or is preparing to submit an official request for international authorization of a new exchange rate. If confirmed, this step would represent a substantial procedural milestone, potentially reshaping the dinar's value within a very short period of time. The weight of this action is being underscored because it marks a move far beyond casual remarks, signaling a formal declaration on the global stage. What reportedly makes this development so striking is its public nature. This is said to be happening not behind closed doors, but directly on Iraqi national broadcasts. Officials are reportedly explaining the formal request openly, detailing the reasoning behind the major shift in economic policy. This form of public transparency is being read as a strong message both to the Iraqi people and the global community, indicating that the country sees itself as ready for a major economic leap. The visibility of this step is being highlighted as an essential factor in its importance. The consequences of a nation openly discussing such a critical move cannot be emphasized enough, according to the analysis being reviewed. When a government announces to its citizens that it believes it has reached the final stage before a major currency adjustment, it sends a message of preparedness and stability. It is also being interpreted as a deliberate communication to major international financial centers, with reports from Omar noting that the statements seem directed toward institutions like the United States Treasury, the Bank of England, and France's financial authorities. These bodies help guide and support the world's monetary framework, so engaging with them is seen as purposeful and coordinated. The analysis suggests Iraq is not attempting to adjust its currency value in isolation. Instead, it appears to be ensuring that any change in value will be recognized, trusted, and integrated seamlessly across global markets. This recognition is necessary for the currency to function in international trade and take its place in foreign exchange markets, which is the ultimate goal of restoring Iraq's financial prominence on the world stage. According to commentary attributed to Frank 26, this moment represents what he has long labeled the monstrous phase. This term refers to the point in the process where speculation is replaced with actual visible progress. The idea is that once approval from these major global institutions is achieved, the remaining steps leading to a revaluation or new peg become clear and actionable. This would imply that the long-anticipated final movements could unfold quickly rather than dragging out for extended periods. This type of update is precisely what keeps followers of the dinar story closely tuned in, examining every broadcast, every statement, and every sign. The community watches for any clue that could indicate the final stretch of what is seen as a monumental financial change. The importance of this particular report lies in its combination of on-the-ground information from Iraq and long-standing analytical work from a well-known community voice, creating what some view as the strongest suggestion yet that the process may be nearing its conclusion. Now we come to the headline that has ignited intense discussion within the dinar community. Iraq has reportedly asked for approval of a 101 exchange rate with the US dollar, what is being called $1. Let that number settle in. According to the circulating reports, this is not a modest increase or slow adjustment. If accurate, it would be a dramatic leap from the current program rate to parity with the world's dominant reserve currency. Implications of such a move, if applied, are being described as enormous. Frank 26, in the analysis being attributed to him, reportedly identifies this $1 request as the potential ignition point for a global financial shift he has referenced for years. The reasoning presented is that once Iraq's request receives official approval from the world's major financial authorities, the entire revaluation system, which includes a subsequent float, could activate swiftly. This would establish a new baseline where the dinar is globally recognized at par with the dollar. Beyond the number itself, the psychological impact on worldwide markets could be immense. Dinar holders, investors, and traders would suddenly be confronted with a currency whose value had shifted dramatically overnight. This would alter wealth distributions and create financial scenarios many believed unlikely. Frank's use of the word monstrous is said not to be exaggeration, but an attempt to describe both the vast scale of the change and the rapid pace at which the rest of the process could occur once approval is granted. For decades, dinar watchers have clung to scattered clues, incomplete signals, and bits of insider commentary. Yet this combined update from Omar and Frank 26 is being characterized as the clearest depiction yet of what may be unfolding behind the scenes. The narrative is that this is not a slow progression. It is being portrayed as a pivotal, potentially seismic shift that could redefine expectations not only for Iraq, but for holders around the world. A logical question arises: why would Iraq, an independent nation, need the consent of outside governments and central banks to adjust its own currency? The answer provided in the analysis is rooted in the interconnected nature of modern finance. A revaluation with global consequences is not simply a domestic decision. For the new rate to carry real weight internationally, it must be acknowledged and supported by the broader financial system. Otherwise, the new domestic value would hold limited meaning abroad, as foreign entities could choose not to honor it. The analysis attributed to Frank 26 explains that Iraq's goal is to ensure that when the new $1 rate goes live, it is immediately accepted worldwide. This requires full coordination with the U.S. Treasury, major central banks, and global markets. Such alignment prevents instability and guarantees the new rate is recognized from the first moment. This synchronization is vital to keeping the rollout smooth and avoiding market volatility. Frank's commentary reportedly stresses that the final requirement before releasing new lower denomination currency is securing this global approval. This step guarantees that the revaluation is validated by global leaders and can withstand scrutiny. Omar's reporting, which includes televised discussion of these steps, is seen as a deliberate sign of readiness and transparency from Iraq's policymakers. So what comes next? According to the narrative, once Iraq receives international authorization and the $1 rate becomes official, the next stage, commonly referred to as the float, is expected to begin immediately. This mechanism is not described as a minor technicality, but as a carefully structured process, allowing the market to reflect Iraq's true economic capabilities. The $1 rate is viewed as the starting point, not the end goal. The float is framed as the method through which Iraq's real economic value, its oil, gold, agriculture industry, and services, will gradually push the currency upward in a measured and sustainable fashion. This prevents sudden shocks and allows the market to discover the rate based on real-world output.